in a world crying out for a top 10 show. John Rocha and Matt Knost are here to bring you the top 10. Brought to you by the Schmoes Know. Take it away, boys. Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of the Top 10 Show. Once again, we are coming to you live from the new Collider Podcast studio. There's a TV that's been added from last week. Down on the ground, hasn't been put up. It's just down on the ground right now. And then there's a nice, very decorative curtain put up to cover up so that people can talk freely without being looked in on as our coworkers are going by here at the Collider offices. Anyway, my name is John Rocha.
I'm Matt Knost. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, man.
Sure.
It's at the end of a long day for me, so I didn't get a chance to grab a lunch or anything, so I slammed a taco down, and I'm living on Coke right now. I'm going to die, Matt, basically.
I think you're fine. I think you're fine.
This job is a great job, but it takes a lot out of me, and at my age, the health, the nutrition with which I'm surviving on is not a positive. So I envy your ability to stay close to your diet and eat healthily. I am struggling. So I'm trying to figure out how to eat better in this situation.
Not a problem. Just figure out something, my man. There's got to be a million options. You're so close to so many restaurants. There's no Grubhub, something somebody can deliver for an extra couple bucks from across the street.
It's not a bad idea. Grubhub.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
Boom. Hey, go pick that up. It's 2 feet away. Please.
Yeah. I got to wean myself off the bagel sandwiches in the morning. That's my addiction.
Well, it depends on what you get on the bagel sandwiches.
2 eggs.
Oh, doubling up on the egg. Okay.
I like eggs.
So do I. I normally have 2 eggs for breakfast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 2 eggs, a slice of ham, and then cheddar cheese.
Sure. I was thinking in terms of breakfast food. And I was like, oh, you went slice of ham? But I was like, no, we're talking about bagels, man.
Right.
You're crazy on the details here right now.
and cinnamon raisin bagel usually. All on a cinnamon raisin bagel. So it's a sandwich.
Interesting. So you go the sugary bagel with that kind of savory interior?
I like the sugar. I like the sugar and the salt combo. As long as one doesn't overwhelm the other, then I'm good. And I feel like that mix is the 50-50 mix.
Okay.
But occasionally I'll have the multigrain or the good egg or the honey whole wheat occasionally. And if I'm feeling frisky, I'll get the whole wheat sesame.
Back up. What do you got, a little skip in your step that day? And you're like, this is the sesame morning for this guy. You go in there just confident as fuck. The rest of the day you crush. Just like, dude, I started this day badass, and I'm ending this day badass.
That's right. I'm giving you a steak afterwards.
Oh, man. You got to love those sesame days.
Yeah, that's when I get 8 hours of sleep and I'm fully refreshed. But yeah, those are the things I got to wean myself off of. But, today's just been a long day, and so I'm living off Coke. I rarely ever get Coke anymore. I'll get a Diet Coke if I get anything, or a Coke Zero.
Yeah.
But today just feels like a Coke day. You just want that taste in your mouth. I used to eat better when I was working at Universal. I'll say that's the truth. But I just
But the drawbacks from that, it doesn't really matter.
No, right, exactly.
That job may or may not have hobbled you.
Yeah, that's true in other ways. That's true.
Maybe not from the food perspective, but from others. So, every job gets you a little bit.
That's true.
What's the trade-off here?
What's that line at Raising Arizona? Government do take a bite, don't she?
Yeah. Good pull.
What's up with you? What's going on with you? How are
Nothing, man. You watch that game last night?
Oh, dude. I was like, okay, they're going to take this one comfortably, maybe win by 8 to 10 points. It'll be fine. Now we'll see what happens. 2-1.
Oh, what, Cavs?
I thought the Cavs. I thought because they were leading by so much in the beginning of the game, I thought, okay, their switches are working.
You just can't. That's the thing.
Because they weren't playing well either. And then Durant was the only one that was really playing well. So I thought, okay. Oh, and then Draymond a little bit. But I thought, okay, they could, if they make these switches to keep working. But, man, that team just wears you the fuck down, dude.
That's the beauty of that team in that even if parts aren't working correctly, there's still enough of a machine behind it that it just keeps chugging right along.
Man,
it's impressive to watch.
It is, but it's also
it's disheartening.
It's anticlimactic, right? Because you're like
at this point,
both those series went 7 games. The conference series, the finals in the conference series went 7 games, and you're like, if J.R. Smith hits that layup, is this a completely different series, or would that have been fool's gold?
I still think over the course of 7 games, that the Warriors still take it.
Yeah.
You may get they had, the Cavs put up a great game and the Warriors put up a B.
Yeah.
And a B was almost good enough to win still.
Right.
Kind of, but, at regulation. They put up a B until then, and after that, it's just like the Cavs are gassed and the Warriors they just keep coming.
This feels like what you read about I don't want to say this in the history books, but you read about in the annals of championship, like how Jerry West and the Lakers were constantly getting there, and teams were always beating them. And Jerry West was great. The Lakers team with Wilt Chamberlain, they were great. They only won once, I think, but they were always getting there and then getting beat by the Celtics or by some other team that had gotten there, and they were just constantly frustrated. And this feels the same way to a degree. I'm sure Jerry West was considered one of the best players in the game at that time. Maybe not the greatest, like LeBron, but still one of the best.
It's not quite the same thing.
You don't think so?
Well, just because there weren't as many playoff series.
Oh, true.
So
Very
that makes
true.
the feat a little bit more impressive. Just like he still has to get through 3 teams every year to make this.
That's true. What do you if they sweep out? What's your take on his legacy at this point?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's not through writing it.
So it's not done yet.
Yeah.
You're not prepared to put any kind of judgment on it just yet.
It's amazing. It is. It's flat out amazing.
Sure.
It sucks that he was never my guy.
Yeah.
Because I would love to have grown up with him as my guy.
Oh, fair.
Because he seems like a good dude.
Yeah.
On top of everything else, and he is impressive to watch to no end.
Yeah.
To no end. Just when you think he's gotten too old at 33 and just all right, eventually these years are catching up, and slowly he's been building this outside shot, and now he shoots legit, from 3.
Yeah. It's incredible.
Where does this come from?
Yeah, the fadeaway.
If you can do this, man, you just add another 2 to 3 legit years to your, prime.
Yeah, maybe you're not the alpha dog on the team, but you're a shooter, and you're there on the wing, and you're doing what you need to do, and you're helping. You'd be co-alpha dog in that situation. Do you think he'd ever exist as a hired gun?
I don't know, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I mean, as a hired gun, no.
Yeah.
No, I think he'll retire before he comes to that.
Right.
But I think, he could have a nice long career. He
doesn't
could make
wind
it to
up like
40 if he
Vince.
wanted to.
He doesn't wind up like Vince Carter, like showing up on different teams, playing for 20 years.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I doubt it.
Right.
Because eventually, guys at his level, he knows when to retire. It sucks to give up the game, but now you are hurting your legacy.
But also business, right? He's got other ventures.
He
doesn't
wants to be
need
the first
play
billion-dollar basketball player to have made that, in earnings or whatever else with all the business.
Yeah, I heard today somebody was saying the way Cleveland could keep him is to offer him a piece of the team ownership.
That's interesting. I hadn't thought about that yet.
Yeah, because some people are talking. It's a done deal that he's going to Lakers. Like it's a done deal that him and Paul George.
I don't know why you would go to the Lakers.
It's a weird. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to be coached by Bill Walton. I'd rather go to fucking Paul.
They're just too young. They're too far away.
Yeah.
We should probably start the show. This movie show.
We can talk about this on another.
Yeah. Well, we do this on Thunderdome or something like that.
Sorry about it. So anyway,
I could do that all day. I'm just like, I don't know. And then he goes here. I'm just like, we haven't said word one about what we're doing this week. We talked about certain job aspects of Sesame Day. NBA talk. We're doing animated sequels this week.
Yes, we are doing top 10 animated sequels in honor of Incredibles 2 coming out.
Yeah.
All right. And have you been looking forward to this one?
Yeah. Already trying to figure out where we can see it in the old schedule.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, between the two of us. It will get seen.
A lot of people at the Collider went to the premiere and absolutely loved it. I haven't seen it.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, and it's getting great reviews. A lot of people are saying it's better than the first one. I don't know how you can say that, but I'm looking forward to see if it is. But either way, that's a good thing because the reviews coming out of Solo weren't 100% great. The reviews coming out of Jurassic World, boo, not that good. So
from what I've seen so far, yeah.
Oh man,
I'm still going to see it though.
Okay.
Just because it's Jurassic Park on some level.
Yeah.
I want to see this on the big screen. I want to see the train wreck for what it is.
Well, maybe we do a special Patreon for Incredibles 2, like a review of it,
Okay.
like 15, 20 minutes or something like that, just to kind of, still keep exercising that muscle on occasional films that we want to talk about.
Over the summer, because we brought it up that one time, over the summer we're going to end up seeing a bunch of the movies at the same time.
Right.
Because they're all releases I want to see.
Yeah.
Everybody out there that's listening have a lot of the same slotted on their schedule.
Exactly.
I want to see that one and that one and that one and that one. And okay, maybe iffy on this one, but I'll probably end up seeing it type of shit.
Yeah.
But Incredibles at the top of the list. They should have done this years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better that they didn't, and like a fine wine, but there's a lot of superhero shit out there now.
There really is.
You're competing with a lot more.
Yeah, but this one has a special place in people's hearts, so I think...
It's different.
Yeah, I think the weight, too, helps, because people are like, oh, they didn't go for a cash grab. They took their time coming around.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
That it's just, they waited for the right story to crop up.
Right.
They wanted to tell as opposed to just rushing in, because Pixar has a lot of things in the hopper.
Yeah.
And it takes years for a turnaround, and they just got focused on other stuff.
Yeah. I think so, too.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully it's better than like Cars, where they just keep churning out. It doesn't really matter because it's made for kids.
Right. So I'm assuming none of those are on your...
No. No. I figured you would
Spoiler alert.
Yeah,
No!
I figured.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. But I'm guessing you.
Well, Matt, we are coming off the huge reveal of the Horsemen. Yeah, that happened. The match was broadcast last. Oh, not the match. Well, we were at the end of that live match on Friday, so we told people we were going to put the team together. We put a pretty powerful team together.
Dude, this team is ridiculous.
I mean, we're like an all. This is like the Olympics team. This is like Jordan, Bird, Magic, Jordan, and whoever else you want to throw in there.
I know.
This is a pretty stacked team.
A lot of possibilities.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A lot of ways to go.
We form a circle, and now we're covered from all fire.
We are.
We're just the perfect little team. Boom, I'm good at this. He's good at that. He's good at that. We'll take all comers.
It's a champion team. Yeah, we said we were going to take some time, look at a bunch of people, and figure it out, and it all came together. Dan was the one that was the linchpin. Everything was hinging on Dan, because I didn't want to just come back. I think we didn't want to just come back as the Four Horsemen. We needed something stronger to combat the Lion's Den, combat what the Viper Squad is, combat what the other factions that are forming, and if Team Action gets involved in forming a faction. There was a lot of other things we had to come to the... Oh, and the Fight Club, of course. That's a stacked team as well. So we had to come out the gate. Couldn't come out with, lesser than championship material. And we got some great guys on the team, man. We pulled 2 guys out of retirement to be on the team, man.
I just, we're out here chumming the water, calling in the biggest sharks,
That's right.
That's the best part. And they all answered the call.
That's right, man.
It's good to see you, fellas. It's good to see you.
It was incredible, dude.
Let's go make Jaws 5, and there's 5 of us. And that's the ultimate revenge. It was all Jaws' kids. It was just a litter.
That's right.
I don't know what they're called, whatever the fuck it is, a pod.
A pod, maybe, yeah.
Maybe that's what it is for dolphins, but...
Where's Mom and Dad? Who killed them? Son of a
It's
bitch.
a revenge like no other.
Going after the family. Going after the grandkids of the kids.
Do they make five Sharknadoes?
They haven't made 5 Sharknadoes yet.
That's the follow-up then. We do Sharknado 5 between the 5.
Because they haven't done a Jaws 5 either. I'm down with the
Now we're
Jaws
taking
5.
the war onto the land.
We're growing legs. We're walking out there. But it's great. What was it like? Like, I know, Matt, you're always... how can I say this? You don't always dial into the drama and the excitement of it. You have a chill approach to things. What was it like for you to be on that stage and feel that, like... Because obviously you're a stand-up. What was it like?
This is utterly different in the context of Schmodown.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I enjoy doing. Performing for people is fun.
Yeah.
So it's easy to feed off of. Give them
Yeah.
exactly what they want. Give them the drama. You can hear the swell, the energy build. You can feel it. It's palpable in a room.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You ever seen a room go from hell yes to fuck you? That is impressive to watch. I've seen it happen before, and you're like, oh, this dude dug a grave. Let's see where he goes next.
Yikes.
Usually when the crash is that bad, I've seen it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Most people don't know how to steer back out of it. That's the unfortunate thing. But the live event is like, it's playing to an audience. It's a part. It's easy to get into, whereas here it's just... it's a more artificial environment.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Without having, that's why I told Christian after the first one, was like, this to me is the future of the show.
Yeah.
Because you tape this, you put it on live, and you do it in a smaller like theater, it'll feel the energy will translate across into TV, streaming devices, whatever the case is.
Yeah.
It's like that's where you got a hook right there, kid.
Yeah.
Right there. You can turn that into an easy half hour show.
Yeah.
Done.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And that's what was so thrilling to be able to be part of it for the second one, too, because obviously the first one was the match with JT, but to be able to walk out with us, just walking out, and then feeling like people went ape shit, just the four of us in the light.
Yeah.
You know, people were going crazy about it, and they weren't sure who was going to, be part of the Horsemen. And when Inman took his cloak off, his hood off, people were crazy excited. Then when Riley being the showman that he is, took his extra time to take the hood off and slowly put on the glasses, people were going apeshit. And then just when they thought they had enough, the lights went out and we said 5, opened the doorway, the lights went out again, and there comes Dan. And when I pulled the hood off, Dan, that place lost their shit. You hear announcers say they're going to blow the roof off this place if they hit that 3 or whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Dan was our 3 to win the game. Dan, it was incredible.
Christian beforehand was like, they're going to be amped for this. And I was like, I'm sure they will. And then going through it, I was like, no, he was right. I think his intonation of amped, looking in his eye, I was like, okay, I had an expectation level as to what they would give back as from the first one, knowing that maybe this is they're hardcore into it, but it's also different of being unreserved of your joy.
Yes.
And that's where the intensity comes from. And the amount of energy they were giving us was it was pretty intense. It was good.
Yeah.
They were so into it and dialed in, and it felt like every single individual.
Yeah. I was so happy. Those moments, I don't have a lot of those moments on stage anymore because I don't act on stage anymore. So to be there, and by that I mean moving the crowd, you know what I'm saying? And so to experience it like that was just a joy, and the only negative was that we couldn't, because to fit the story, we couldn't walk back out and say hi to people and hear their joy, like, oh my God, I can't believe. There's something really good about that, man. And so to not have that, to not be able to do that was a little bit of a damn, I wish, But the show is the show, and the presentation is, and people go home with that memory, and wanting more, and that's what you want, right? Your crowd to want more.
So we were forbade from going.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No. I told him, I was like, I'll show it. When do you need me?
Yeah.
When do you need me? I will be there.
Yeah.
When you need me.
Right.
Deliver the goods.
He was
it's
like,
easy.
I don't want anybody to go out there and say hi to the fans because of what could happen. Because we want to keep the mystique of what happened, and so, so there it is. So that's why we didn't do that. So, but we'll have things to say as it goes along.
Well, here, let me ask you this before we get into the show.
Sure.
And I have something on my phone, so I showed up to the store to do my spot Saturday.
Oh.
And a friend of mine was wearing Josh, who plays on Saturdays.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. He was wearing a Four Horsemen T-shirt, so I took a picture of it. And I was thinking about tweeting you tonight, being like, dude, my buddy Josh is wearing this shirt. At the Rocha Says, what do you think? Because the match comes out tomorrow. Is that too much of a hint? I mean, the listeners by now, they'll know whether or not
know.
As to
right.
we can talk about it. Because I didn't know if I wanted to do it or not. I was going to,
what would you say? What do you think? What do you think? What would be the tweet? I'm down with it. I like the idea. There's a tease.
Yeah.
What would you say?
I don't know. Just something along the lines of maybe tag you and potentially Christian, but you definitely in it.
And say,
hey, John, look what I saw, at the Comedy Store tonight.
And say, it might be time to put this team together or something like that? Maybe it's time
I don't want to tip too much.
Maybe it's time to announce it or something like that.
Okay.
So you got some tease that gets the fans hyped up.
I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. Now now you got to go back and find the tweet. I got it. I'll tell you off air.
Oh, yeah. All right.
People that haven't heard, find us on Twitter at Matt Knost, MATTKNOST, and
at the Rocha Says, ROCHA. And you'll see that interaction there.
There you go.
There it is.
There you go. You'll see the final product.
Yeah, scan back in your tweets.
Little Easter egg right there. Does that qualify? I don't know if it does or does not.
You know what? I'll pin the tweet for a week, and then we'll go from there.
Perfect.
Anyway, all right, we should get into this because we gotta count this top 10. That's why you guys are listening to us. And all right, so this week, like we said, top 10 animated sequels. Matt, anything more to say, or do you want to tell them how the show works?
No. Once we set a topic, John and I go our individual ways and create personal top 10 lists. Show back up here. I do my bottom 3. He does his bottom 3. I do my next 2. He does his next 2. Then we trade one apiece. Once we have revealed our personal top 10 list, we create the shows between the two of us.
Damn. No mistakes there, right? Okay. All right.
There was.
I'm trying.
We do this dance every week.
We do.
We do this dance every week, and it's fine. No. I am not complaining.
Go ahead.
But I think we both just fall into the same kind of rote
Fair enough.
things we've done over and over. Anyway, number 10 for me then. We're just going to jump right in. Despicable Me 2.
I have not seen any of those, so that's not on my list.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know why. I guess I don't have the same desire to see those yet, but I know I'll probably go on a Saturday on a run and watch that and those two.
Don't lie to me and the listeners.
No, I'm serious.
If you've never seen any of them, you're not going to do a run of 3-4 movies you've never seen by the time whenever you get around to it, because these are going to keep coming.
No, this is the way I'm doing things now. It's really weird in my like this week I tore through Mindhunter in like two and a half nights.
It's a TV show. Somehow it's different.
Yeah, but it's still 10 hours of watching.
Yeah.
So I could on a Saturday, if I got nothing else planned, but I want to play basketball that day with you guys, I wake up at like 9 in the morning, just pop the first one on, and then watch them back to back to back and relax. And that's not a bad day for me.
Okay.
Honestly, because I'm so goddamn busy all the time with this job. Taking a Saturday to just watch some animated films and enjoy some animated films, that's not a negative. So it's certainly possible. Let's just say that. It's possible.
All right.
Yeah. Because everybody's been telling me how great these are.
Just on the first one, I didn't know how you could extend the story, and it's simple enough, but what sells you on it, what keeps you coming back to the series, and it's why I even saw Minions in the theater because I didn't see Despicable Me 3 because I just, from enough individuals that had the same, they were the same as me, which we were kind of a minority in that. I enjoyed the first two.
Right.
This was the last gasp of it. But Carell and those kids, the evolution of their characters within that storyline, and they bring in, I think it's Kristen Wiig as a female kind of love interest for Carell's character.
Right.
And it really works. So, there's this genuine character they spin into this ridiculous world. They're going after this Latino, mas macho guy. Yeah. Over and over. But I think it's more so just like the heart and the dynamic that they create in it seems very believable.
Yeah.
And it's kind of tough to do at times within I guess not really with animation when it succeeds best because it's a family film. Mm-hmm. But it's also from DreamWorks?
Yeah, DreamWorks Animation.
And they don't have the best success, so I'm always surprised when a company that's consistently puts out okay movies,
right?
When they manage to succeed above and beyond that, I want to, kind of, I'm over here rooting, guys. Keep trying, keep doing. You're showing signs of life to where, at least you're engaging me for what that's worth.
Yeah.
There's one extra ticket, one extra potential DVD deal. I don't know.
That's all they want.
Is it enough? Is my opinion the majority? I don't know.
You never know. Well, I mean, the fact that they've done 4 of these things tells you that your opinion is the majority because they. Isn't there another Minion? Is there a second Minions film too, or no?
I don't see why not.
Okay, all right.
I think that's a nice little cash cow that doesn't cost them all that much, especially the Minions.
And it must be a thing with Universal because when I was working there, they have Minions.
Yeah, they have the Minions.
Yeah, so Universal must have co-produced or
maybe it is a Universal product. I don't think it is though.
I think it's both. I think it's DreamWorks Animation
distributed by
with Universal Pictures. I think because it just feels like it's Universal Pictures. So
I know it's up there because they have it as part of it.
I know. People just wear that thing all around, all the time.
I'm sure. Well, it's got to be such a weird scene every day. There's those people. You got the Harry Potters. You got what rides are left because they tore down.
Potter doesn't cross over into Potter's. You can't leave Potterland.
But the others can intermingle.
Yeah, the other they can't come into Potterland, but they can go out into the main areas of the park. Yeah, no one's allowed in Potterland but the Potter people and the people coming to visit the Harry Potter land, the guests. But no other furries, what they call furries, can come into the Harry Potter.
Now hold on, I got questions for days.
For days. Okay, go ahead.
Furries. Now, was this at all a derogatory term?
No.
That's here come
called.
The furries.
No, that's what they're called because they're obviously what they have to wear. Yeah.
But you walked around listen, I'm at least acting a part over here. You're walking around in a costume guy.
Listen, I'm not going to...
Yep, there it is. We got to the heart of it.
I'm not going to answer that question. Would I have ever worn a costume like that? Fuck no. But
I had a friend that did.
Some people do. Yeah. So it's not, and they don't pay much, man. It's not a high salary. It's not a high per hour wage that you're making. Why? It's surprising to me how much they pay these people to do what they're doing in the park because it's not that much. And in the heat and wearing those big costumes and walking around the park on a hot summer day, which is a majority of the time here in L.A., I respect them very much for putting themselves through it. But I also feel bad for them because that's just a lot, man. Because I was making more than those guys, comfortably more than those guys.
Well, because yours takes a skill set.
right,
So-
specific skill set.
It is. You pay a little bit more for that skill set.
Yeah, yeah.
Just all there is to it.
I was very happy about that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Anybody can put on a costume and walk around. Unless
Right.
you're like, at least if you have the facial recognition of like the character as well, you need to tie that in.
Yeah,
And like amp up and play to that part. Maybe
Right.
those people will get paid a little bit more. And if you're just wearing a Mickey Mouse costume, I think that's just stock fee, like whatever it is
it
across
is.
the board.
It is, and they all have unions, all different unions. Everyone has different unions for what they're doing in the. It's really weird, man. You like if you are a member of 3 different things. Like say you're a tram operator, and then you're working at Waterworld, and you are lucky enough to get on to do something else like a character.
Yeah.
Those are 3 separate unions you have to be a part of. So those 3 separate wages that you're making. It's not one wage across the board. It's a really weird situation, the theme park stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. It's very nuanced, man.
Yeah, that seems like too complex to have to just negotiate for a decent paying job.
Yeah. You don't even negotiate.
Well, yeah, it's true. It's a union
The
job.
union negotiates for you, and then they tell you when you get your raise. Like you don't individually get more than someone else. Everyone gets elevated to a certain level, and then like when I was there, we were negotiated. There was a rate that was negotiated for us before we ever walked in to do Harry Potter, and then we got a raise. But our union leader negotiated the raise with the park, and then that was our raise. Like nobody
Okay.
got 10 cents more than the other person because they
Yeah.
negotiated better. It's a standard raise for everyone, so it's really weird. It's good and bad.
Yeah, no, it's got upsides and downsides. Everybody kind of pulls in together for, I guess, a collective good.
It's essentially socialism to a degree.
Kind of.
Yeah, you're the government guy.
Well, I mean, it's asking somebody else to put in 100 while somebody else is putting in 20%, and everybody gets paid equally.
Yeah,
And there's always an unfair, like, I am doing a much better job than that guy, and we all agree, but somehow we're making the same money.
Yeah.
How does that make sense? My time is worth more, obviously.
right. The way they delineate that, I think, is roster spots, which is if you're in the top, well, at least where we were, if you're in the top 10 or 11, you're getting a consistent 35 hours a week. Whereas if you're below that, you're looking at the next 10 maybe are looking at 20 hours a week, and then below that, you're looking at 1 day a week. If that, 1 day or 2. That's how they delineate that. So you have to go and get another job someplace else and then still keep this as a part-time.
Yeah, you got to work towards.
Yeah. And they evaluate to give you quality control. It's a whole thing. Any more questions for days?
No. I keep going, but that was Despicable Me Too. I'm going to move on.
All right,
Didn't really talk about it, but screw it. We dicked around for long enough
We
on
did.
that
What's
one.
your number 9?
Number 9, Madagascar 3,
Oh,
Europe's Most Wanted.
No, you can have that one. Yeah, no, I don't have that one on my list.
Oh, you have another?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the other one better.
I've never
but-
seen the other one.
Oh shit. Okay.
I don't even know if I've seen the first one. I might have seen the first one all the way through.
Right. But this one's the one that the critics and the fans really liked.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I saw it years ago. I went with my brother, took 2 of his kids, and he didn't have anybody else to go with, so I met
Yeah.
him in Orlando to go to Universal for like 3 days.
Mm-hmm. We'll go back to that universe.
Yeah, right back to it. Just by happenstance, you know? But we were in a hotel, and they popped this on, and we watched the whole thing. I laughed
Yeah.
way harder than I usually do in an animation. Usually you get a nice chuckle or something out of
Sure.
me. But they got some good jokes. What is it? I think it's Martin Short's character.
Yeah.
Comes in for a nice comedic moment. I want to say it's him. I'll look it up.
It's in Europe, right? It's set
In Europe, and they're
some
like
circus?
part of a circus.
Yeah.
Because they're evading the law. It was like the something to do with the penguins almost got caught.
Yeah, of course, the
or-
penguins.
I don't know. I can't remember that. There's like some dude, I think it's like a not Jacques Cousteau, Pink Pantherish. What is that character's name?
Oh,
Pink Panther.
Clouseau, Inspector Clouseau.
Yeah. Couldn't think of Clouseau. I think it was a Clouseauian character is trying to hunt them down. But anyway, I just remember like once they join the circus, and it's Ian McShane is like the jaded longtime performer.
Oh, wow.
And I was at that point already a sucker for anything Ian McShane. And I was like, I'm on board. And then on top of that, with all the laughs.
Yeah.
And to close with, I think the best use of a pop song I'd seen in years was the Katy Perry Fireworks. It somehow worked so perfectly that I was like, wow, the synchronicity in this is kind of perfect because
Yeah.
the song is meant to entertain adults and kids. Everybody can get behind. It's a simplistic message. It's just a summer anthem bullshit song. To tie it in with this movie, just like it just works so beautifully within it.
Baby, you're a firework. Yeah, this one I like this one. I don't know why it didn't make me laugh or I enjoy it as much as the second one, but I think there's just more to the second one for me personally to connect to. So, but I enjoyed the third one definitely. But I'm glad you put it on your lists. It just didn't make mine. And Chris Rock and Stiller do such amazing work voiceover wise in this with Jada Pinkett Smith and Schwimmer. Schwimmer's great at it.
Yeah, Schwimmer's in this. Yeah, it was Martin Short.
It was, okay.
No, it was Bryan Cranston, not Ian McShane.
Oh,
Cranston doing a guttural,
that makes sense.
Deep voice.
They both have those voices that could work that way. Easy confusion to make.
Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I just, out of nowhere, I had never anticipated watching any of these movies.
Yeah.
And then saw this, and I was like, man, are they all this good? And my brother was like, nah, not really.
You're right.
At least that was the newest one out.
Yeah.
So he was obviously, saying the second to him wasn't.
Right.
But yeah, I just never anticipated. There you go.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Number 8 might be a punt. Monsters University.
Yes, it is a punt.
Okay.
Definitely. Okay, number 10 for me is Shrek 2, Puss in Boots.
That's a punt.
Ooh,
Yeah.
interesting. I didn't think we'd make a list. All right, my number 9, and listen, I know it's, okay, Finding Dory. That's my number 9.
That's a punt.
Wow. Okay.
That's a punt.
So then my number 8 is Fantasia 2000.
Haven't seen it.
Oh, really? Oh, man. Okay.
I'm not a big fan of the first Fantasia.
Oh, okay.
Even though I like classical music.
Right.
That movie just never... I saw it when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I played violin from the age of 6 to 12.
Okay.
So I've been around classical music for a big chunk already at that point in my life.
Right.
And I just couldn't connect with it. So when they did the 2000... nothing in me was like, I need to see this.
Wow. I kind of like this a little bit more than Fantasia. And Fantasia is a great classical, or a classic rather, animation compilation, obviously with Sorcerer's Apprentice and all that. But this one just seemed to me more visionary. And the animation that was available in that year, the animation styles really were fleshed out in this movie.
Yeah.
You could see all the different ways that you could do animation. Obviously, you do that in the first one, but I feel like this was more innovative, more interesting, more fascinating with the color schemes, more fascinating with the style of animation, the almost 3D type of animation, stuff with the whales that were going through. All of that stuff that they had in that film was just excellent for me to watch and enjoyable. What's going on? You all right?
This cord is so inconveniently placed.
Matt is trying to figure things.
Around 3 things on this chair.
Jay was sitting in that chair earlier, so maybe he was messing around with it. And he was just like, I'm going to do these things. I'm going to do my own thing.
There it is.
Yeah,
About time. There we go.
There he is. You're good to go. Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't turn because it was doing this and pulling, and it was around the height adjusting knob, but wrapped around like twice.
Right. Well, we get Beethoven's Fifth Symphony that starts things off, and then you have the humpback whale thing that goes through with the Pines of Rome, and then there's the Rhapsody in Blue. The Rhapsody in Blue is my favorite one, done almost like pencil animation drawing.
Okay.
It's a blue type of pencil animation, and you're going through this guy's life in New York and all the different things that he goes through, and it's fascinating the way they do it, and you're going along as the thing is being drawn, and so you don't know what's coming next. You don't see it coming, and so you have to go along with it, and you're just like the guy. So I really enjoyed that.
Okay,
then,
that sounds interesting.
Yeah, and then they have the Tin Soldier thing, and then the flamingo animation one was great as well. So there was just a lot of it that I really thoroughly enjoyed. And yeah, Matt, I know once on a movie talk one time you jingled the keys to joke about my love of Transformers. This film is the same way. It's very vibrant, bright colors, and for whatever reason it attracts me, interests me, and I love the songs in this one a lot. And it's one I go back to.
Sometimes movies do that to me too. I'm not immune to that. There's a reason it works.
Yeah.
It's just in Transformers, it just doesn't work. Like I see the magic trick for the magic trick.
Right.
Give me something beyond that.
Yeah.
Whereas I've got other buddies that I saw, the one that dragged me to Age of Extinction. His entire cell was like, dude, robots on dinosaurs that are robots. And we're both grown men, and I was like, "You're not convincing." He was like,
3
"Come
hours.
on."
For 3 hours, Knost.
Yeah, for 3 hours, no less. It just makes no sense.
Did you see the trailer for the new one or no?
Hell no. The Bumblebee. I think I did finally see that. Yes.
Okay. All right. You're kind of back on board, I think.
At this point, I'm so disaffected from that series that unless it's stellar, I'm just kind of done.
Understood.
I don't know. Maybe it just needs to take the beige sheen off of it and do something different because it still looks like it has the beige sheen to it.
Yeah. All right.
It's going to be stylistic in a lot of certain ways.
It's certainly epic in that way.
Maybe.
What's your number 7?
My number 7 is the slight punt from earlier, Shrek 2.
Oh, okay, sure.
I watched it for this, and I was like, you know what? This is better than I'm giving it credit for.
It is actually, yeah.
Yeah.
The only reason this is lower on the list, honestly, I love all the films on my list, and this one just, for whatever reason, it's a little bit lower, but it's a thoroughly enjoyable film. Because it's not one I run back to all the time, but the stuff with Banderas is great as Puss in Boots, so much so that they spun him off into his own movie, which was an enjoyable film to watch. And then you have the stuff with Prince Charming and her mom and his mom, which is Jennifer Saunders from French and Saunders. She's hilarious. And then you have all this stuff with Prince Charming. Is it Rupert Everett who does the voice of Prince Charming, I think? And yeah, I think
it almost sounds like somebody maybe it's Jamie Lannister before Jamie Lannister.
He kind of has that look.
That's what the look and the sound both really kind of come together.
And it's a universal thing. You got to meet the parents, right? You got to meet the parents before you get married, that kind of stuff. And it's John Cleese and Julie Andrews and all the stuff that's happening between them, and the princesses get caught and put in some dungeon, and they have to fight their way out. So it's a lot that happens in this that's thoroughly enjoyable. And then you throw in Puss in Boots, which throws in the jealousy angle for the donkey. It's just a very enjoyable film. I've seen it many, many times.
I think this is maybe only the second or third time.
Oh, wow.
And my guess is in a year's time, if we did this again, I wouldn't rewatch it. It was like, I watched it a year ago, and it would probably go down on my list again.
Yeah, maybe that's why I haven't seen it in a bit.
Yeah, because I think, once I see Monsters University again, that'll probably inch above it.
Yeah.
But I saw this more recently, so it's like, more of a connection to it.
Right.
It's a recency bias.
Right. Understood.
I'm prone to it.
Right. But still, it made you number 7. That's pretty high.
Yeah. Yeah, it did. It was just, it had a lot of heart. I liked the story, the incorporation of new characters. Sometimes, as any franchise goes on, they feel like we need to keep piling on characters and piling on characters.
Yeah.
And within this one, anybody they introduce, you already kind of understand their backstory because it's all fairy tale characters.
Yeah, true.
So you don't have to work that hard to fill in their motivations.
Yeah.
So you can introduce more people, and they can also fall by the wayside, and you can bring in others.
Yeah.
So the successful addition of Puss in Boots as part of the core, that's really the only part of the core, because they have the ancillary characters with the blind mice and the pig and Pinocchio, which I did like the gag in this, the fact that you only got to see him as a real boy for 2 split seconds, and he went right back. And I was like, man, that is such a middle finger to that character. I like that choice. Instead of allowing all of us to bask in his glory at any time whatsoever, it's fuck you and then fuck you.
I'm a real boy.
Yeah, just right back. You see him for a brief second on stage, and then bam, right back. You know it's coming too. It's a great joke. They've got a few in there when Pinocchio's lying, and they use that to extend the blonde.
Yeah.
Was it another mouse over? Like They get some good mileage out of jokes. I think they got more jokes with Farquaad and playing back and forth like actual
in
joke
the first
jokes.
one? Yeah.
So pound for pound, I still think the first one's better.
Yeah.
But I like this one. It still had great humor to it.
It's tough to find new references to make because the first one is full of so many fairy tale references that they make fun of. So to go into the second one, it's tough to do that. And the third one was even tougher, and I think they still kind of made it work. So it's just that kind of thing.
Is that
they
the
put
one
into
with like Rumpelstiltskin or whatever?
No, that's the fourth one. Shrek the Fourth. Or Forever After, whatever it's called. But the third one is the one with Justin Timberlake playing King Arthur. And he has to take over being the ruler of the kingdom because they want it to be Shrek, and Shrek doesn't want to do it because him and what is
Fiona?
Fiona, they have other things they want to do. So he has to convince the king to come back and become king. And Eric Idle plays a kooky Merlin. He voices over a little weird ass.
Oh, that's
Merlin.
fun.
Yeah.
Can't believe they didn't bring Merlin in it because I don't think I've seen the third one.
Oh, you haven't? Yeah. It's all right. The third one's not bad. Actually, it's not bad.
Okay.
The fourth one's where you're like, that's the one that's the reason they stopped making them is because it kind of split the fandom, the fourth one. There's some people who really liked it, and there's some people who thought it was too damn dark because Rumpelstiltskin, he essentially gives him the Jimmy Stewart deal from It's a Wonderful Life. He says, "Mate, you don't exist anymore." Because you don't want to, because he feels like he's been too much of a burden on Fiona and everything else, and so I think Rumpelstiltskin just goes, "Okay, you're done, you're gone," and so he has to watch his life go on without him and what happened and all this kind of shit. And he doesn't know that Rumpelstiltskin, he signed this deal that he could never go back to being alive, so he has to figure out how he can do that with Rumpelstiltskin. So it's a little weird. It's a darker Shrek, that's for sure. There was some bitterness involved going on with that film, I think.
Okay, I like that they made a choice.
Yeah, true.
Maybe I'll go full hipster and be like, "That's my favorite of the Shreks."
Oh my god,
Ugh.
it spoke so much. It talks about the societal, punishment of people. Shut up. What's your number 6?
My number 6 is The Rescuers Down Under.
Oh, it is one of the classic Disney films that
You don't like it?
I've never seen.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Well, do you like the first Rescuers?
I've never seen the first Rescuers. That's what I'm talking about. I've never seen the series.
Oh, wow.
So you're telling me I need to watch this?
Man, the first. Yes, the first one, 100%.
All right, I'm gonna take my Saturday. I'm just gonna watch animated films.
It's a good Disney in that it kind of asks a lot from a child's perspective to take in a story like this because it's dark.
Okay.
But it's not like constant tension, like you're running from explosions and all that.
Right.
It's a lot of psychological terror that they inflict on this little girl.
Really?
Yeah, they need this little girl to go down and steal a diamond, or get a ruby actually
This is the first
from this
one.
cave. Yeah.
Okay.
And just go back and see that.
Okay.
And then see this because the love of that, I was so excited. I loved that movie as a kid.
Yeah.
The first one. And then the second one, I was still so excited to get back into the world. They took it to Australia. And they need to rescue like a golden eagle and a little boy that's golden eagle gets taken down by a hunter, a poacher. Seems to be a common thing in Australia. Like they use that for a villain quite a bit.
It's a poacher.
Yeah. Well, there's that. Well, okay. The poachers in Ace Ventura 2, I think, are Australian.
Oh, right, yeah.
But that's in Africa.
Yeah.
There's got to be another one where they use Australian poachers.
I'm sure Quigley Down Under. Well,
Yeah,
then
or
again,
Crocodile Dundee,
Crocodile
maybe
Dundee.
some of those guys. Doesn't he catch somebody trying to kill a croc?
Yes.
At some point, he's got like a stupid, ridiculous outfit. That seems like something Crocodile Dundee did at one point.
poach this alligator.
Yeah. George C. Scott is I think he's the voice of the villain. Yeah.
Really?
In Down Under? Yeah. I'll look it up right now.
Great.
His voice,
His voice is great, dude.
And especially when it's turned evil.
Yeah.
He did that. What was that other 80s cartoon? It was kind of like a TV show with the dog. Like there was a raccoon that was the lead, and he was going after a girl. I think she might have been a raccoon, but they had these dogs with like snork kind of protuberances from their nose. And George C. Scott was the voice of like this rich corporation that was trying to put the world under his thumb or some jazz like that.
No, I've never heard.
Something to do with a raccoon.
I knew there was a raccoon involved.
Yeah, George C. Scott.
Oh, by the way.
And it's Bob Newhart and Ava Gabor are the two voices.
Oh, my God. Ava Gabor?
Ava Gabor.
That's great.
She's perfect within it. The character has an elegance that her voice connotes.
She plays the other mouse.
Yes.
Oh.
And it's her and Bob Newhart.
In both of the films?
Yes.
Dude. All right.
Exactly.
I will watch it.
You got Newhart and playing like the Newhartian character.
Yep.
It's especially the first one, man. The second one's still good.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it thoroughly.
Right. But
the only reason I ever saw it, if the second one came out as
its
a
own?
standalone, a separate story, I wouldn't have cared as much. It probably wouldn't have made my list.
Right.
Like if it was somehow a sequel of something else.
Right.
But because my love of the characters carried over, it sells me on the storyline that they go. Then it's their rescuers. So they go and they rescue the day.
Okay. Who's the villain? It's George C. Scott's
George
the villain?
C. Scott.
And so what's he trying to do?
He's got like a lizard that's really...
what's he trying to do? Why is he a villain? What's he trying to do? What's the main... no spoilers, but what's he trying to do?
I think he's just a poacher and he's after this golden eagle.
Okay, that's it.
Hold on, let me look it up real quick.
And he doesn't have an Australian accent.
No, he's just George C. Scott.
Just George C. Scott. Going after this eagle. Do you want to hear a terrible accent? Ask Jeff Snyder, who I now work with at Collider, to do his Scottish accent. He tried to do Sean Connery for us 3-4 times today, and we fell about the place. It is the worst accent you've ever heard in your life. Like, worst Scottish accent you could possibly.
We'll have to somehow get him on audio doing that for something at some point.
Absolutely. We'll have to bring him on. We'll have to bring him on to how to do it because it's brilliant. Because we were doing that How to Train Your Dragon. The new trailer came out today.
Okay.
And so it was like looking at that and I was like, oh, this is, the Scottish Gerard Butler voice. So he tried to do it. And we were just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, nobody knows. That's an accent that no one has ever spoken in their entire life with. You're an insane person.
Well, I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, my number 7 is How to Train Your Dragon 2.
That is a punt.
Wow.
This
is interesting how this is all playing out. All right, my number 6 then is Kung Fu Panda 2.
That is a punt.
Wow. Do you have any more left? Have I just named all your top 5?
Well, you've come close. Yeah. I mean, you have with the exception of 2 of them.
Okay. All right. So what's your number 5, man?
My number 5 is How to Train Your Dragon 2.
Oh, so that was your punt. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
They took that. I think on some level I appreciate the second one more than I do the first one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't say that. I think the Kate Blanchett stuff doesn't 100% nail. It doesn't. They don't nail it 100%, which is what keeps it from being better than the first one, in my opinion.
I like the backstory, the motivation to get the dad to, now we understand, it gives him a little bit more complexion.
Yeah.
And fills in the backstory of where has his mom been.
Right.
So by making that choice alone, and I enjoyed it for that and the reveal of it and the reason that he was so anti-dragon. And you just assume it's from the perspective of, oh, they destroy our villages and all that stuff. But you come to find out it has, on some level, nothing to do with that. And now we know.
It's a personal thing.
It is. And you could say it undercuts the altruism of just standing up for. And now he's taking out the wrath of his displeasure of his wife.
Right.
I don't know if it's hatred or whatnot, but through the killing of these other third party that really had nothing to do with the equation.
Yeah.
She just has to have like connection with dragons. That's just all there is to it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things in life, I guess. If we had dragons, there might be somebody that would have a connection to dragons.
It's certainly possible.
I guess.
Yeah.
On whatever world and the infinite possibilities that there are dragons.
Well, this is also interesting because America, like the relationship deepens between I forget the 2 characters' names in the movie, but I know it's Jay Baruchel and America Ferrara. Yeah, having them like kind of become stronger, and then all the friends that are involved, all the things they have to do, and who they're fighting, and then the dad sacrifices himself. Man, that's a powerful moment, dog. You know, father and son stuff when it's done well in films.
Did you just drop a dog on me?
I'm sorry.
We got Randy Jackson in the house. That was nice.
We've been messing around saying that's a no from me, dog. That's a no from me, dog. That's the thing that I was so surprised about in the movie, because I loved Gerard Butler in the first one, and so to see. Like, he goes on this whole emotional journey because he gets exposed about what the real reason is, and then he has to confront that with his son, and see his wife again, and all of that. What does that bring up for him? And then what he ends up doing, and it's just so good, you know. And I wish it worked a little bit better for me on the Kate Blanchett side, and because I think that would make it incredible. You know, we were even arguing today on Movie Talk whether this trilogy, when the third one comes out, if it's just as good as the 1 and 2. Has a chance to give Toy Story 3 a run for its money as a trilogy. So
I don't know about any of that jazz.
Yeah. We were having a discussion.
Did anybody come out on the side of,
No. Because we haven't seen the third one, so you can't make a real judgment.
Yeah, but 1 and 2 of Toy Story are way better than 1 and 2 of how to...
I wouldn't say way better. They're better. I wouldn't say way better. That's like... Would you say way better? So you're saying way better.
I would say especially from Toy Story 1, because that helped raise the bar of expectation level within like adult population as to what American animation could do. We could tell a more complex story and still deliver for the kids, and both sides are 100% happy.
And not just animation, but like a studio.
Yeah.
It was like, you got to hit this level every time.
Exactly. And they do more often than not. Their batting average is way better than,
Agreed.
Almost every other studio. They only churn out quality entertainment.
Right.
And at this point, it's just whether or not that quality resonates with you, but you can't deny it.
Yeah.
Like exactly. Coco, I enjoyed, but I understand why it maybe had a greater connection for you.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I mean, the end gets me. I'm not going to lie.
Every time.
But leading up to that, I was like, I wasn't as engaged as I usually am at certain aspects. I thought it dragged for me.
Yeah. Okay.
But other aspects were like the bright, shiny, the bridge in that movie was like a sight to behold.
Yeah.
But in How to Train Your Dragon, the elevation, the evolution of the story, I appreciated so much. This is a gaping hole in who the identity of this person, and now we get to see who that is and how it ties in and why he has this natural kinship with dragons as well. He gets that from his mother's side, and you hopefully get some of the leadership aspects and the other things from your father, and you become the better of us. That's the whole point.
Yeah, And is this the one where they have to like move? They have to leave the island to do so? Is that am I misunderstanding?
Because they have to go and what is it like? They have to take on the big, huge dragon,
right? Because
to stop all the others from being under its beck and call,
right? And because doesn't one of the villagers like betray, like one of his close friends like betray Them or something like, or is that the first one? I get it confused sometimes.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen this. I just remember the bigger moments of that doesn't ring out.
Because who the villain is. I just wanted to figure out who the villain is. Is it the dragon, the main dragon, the big dragon?
There's got to be a greater motivation beyond that. It's like whoever's controlling that large dragon, so taking him out.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of the villagers who was close to the Jay Baruchel character and obviously the Gerard Butler character, which is why I think Gerard Butler is like why the story works that he sacrifices himself, because it's someone he knew who had turned on the village, I think. Either way, I love the fact that America Ferrera, who is a Latina actress, is playing this blonde, in essence, Viking or Norse kind of person. I love that with voiceover. Like, I love that it's no big deal. Nobody cares. It's great to see that kind of stuff. I'm a big fan of it, in this series. So,
yeah, the voice action is really good.
Yeah.
The fact that one of the more compelling characters are the ones we all identify with it. What is the dragon's name? The all-black one?
Toothless?
Toothless, thank you. The connection you have with him by giving him huge doughy eyes.
Yeah.
But it does. It does.
Always works, man.
And it works. You look at it and you're like, ah.
Yeah.
You see when he can turn bad. It's like he looks like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
Yes.
If he had wings. Just like a likable character, but until you cross him.
Doughy eyes are always the way to go, man. They suck you right in.
Well, and something that has that kind of power, otherwise they just look evil.
Hiccup, that's the name of
Hiccup.
Yeah. So,
that was my 5.
Okay, that was your number 5. So then my number 5 is Madagascar 2, Escape to Africa.
Okay.
So, the third one, I understand why people love it, and I get it. Like, it's a funny movie. But for me, the second one I love, because I enjoyed the first one. I surprisingly enjoyed the first one. Because, Matt, you're the animation guy on our team. I am not. But when I see animation, I enjoy it. But I'm not always drawn to animation, so for lack of a better term.
Okay.
And for Madagascar, I had to watch it for the job I was doing years ago, testing DVDs and Blu-rays and all this kind of shit. So I had to watch it like a million fucking times. But I enjoyed it, and I became like, I really thoroughly enjoyed it. So when the second one came out, I was actually looking forward to it. And I went to the theaters by myself to see it on like a Tuesday afternoon or some shit. And I just thoroughly enjoyed it. Because once again, it's the deepening of the story between the Ben Stiller character and the Chris Rock zebra, the lion and the zebra, them coming back together as friends and going back because they crash land in Africa, and Ben finds out his parents are still alive in Africa. His parent lions are still alive in Africa, and he is welcomed back into the pride. But the longer he stays in Africa, the less civilized he becomes. So he starts to see everything as pieces of meat the longer he stays in Africa, because his instinct to hunt, to kill, it becomes a running thing as the longer they stay. And so it's testing the friendship about going. So it's really interesting how they make it work. And you throw in the penguins, which are fucking hilarious in this movie because they're first introduced.
Well, there's a reason they got a standalone movie.
Yeah, they really did.
They were trying to Minions those things.
They really were. They turned it into a TV series for like years.
Really? I mean, I remember this TV series, but it was on for like years?
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 years. It was on for a while. But very funny stuff and everything. And, of course, Jada Pinkett stuff and Schwimmer going through the stuff that they were going through and how they all interact in Africa. Because, that whole storyline of being in a zoo, once you get brought back into the wild, can you survive? So all of that comes through, and then what it takes. And Ben is so ashamed. The lion is so ashamed, Ben Stiller's so ashamed of what he's becoming, that he traps himself in this place so that no one can come talk to him. So it's that kind of thing. Like sometimes people like go into their shells and the friends have to work harder to get through them so that they can not feel sorry for themselves. And so he's doing it. So it's just a really fun exploration of that. And I know it seems like a dark thing, but that's what I've always liked about Madagascar is they've had this kind of dark edge to them, to these things they're going through. And so that happens throughout the film. So that's why I liked it so much. It's very, very funny. So, all right, that was my number 5.
Yeah, maybe I need to give it a shot. I was going to ask. I perked up, but I didn't want to interrupt you because you were going. The character becoming more uncivil the longer he's in Africa.
Yeah.
Did anybody pitch a fit about that, saying it's politically incorrect?
No.
By saying you took someone from the Western world and put them in Africa, and they reverted to this feral state.
No, because it's a lion.
I know, but
there's no color on the lion, but
I
the
don't
lion
realize
color.
that.
Yeah.
But I could see now in the internet
sure,
age,
of
if it came
course.
out now, there would be a piece that somebody writes
Right.
about that. That's my first thought of, I wonder who would be outraged by that. As opposed to looking at it as it's a lion and you put him back in the wild.
Yeah.
So he turns wild again, but going, no, this is about geopolitics. And how we are sending a message to them that we are still better than them and all this stuff. And you're like, wow, man, I can't believe you look at the world through that kind of microscope. That sucks.
Oh, and I shouldn't forget that Sacha Baron Cohen gets introduced in this movie, too, because he's the lemur, the king lemur.
Oh, this is his introduction?
I mean,
he just starts kind of in the third one. I didn't know anything about it, and
in the
he's
second
awesome.
one. I like to work at work. I think it's in this one. Or maybe it is in the first one, but I think it's in this one. But either way, yes. No, I think that is avoided because it's Ben Stiller voicing it. If it was I think it was a black guy voicing it, maybe there might be some kind of issue with him going back to Africa and all of a sudden becoming, more feral, so to speak. So then, you're number 4, right?
My number 4 is Finding Dory.
Okay, so which is wow, 5 ranking difference. Okay.
Well, hey, a lot of judgment from one sentence.
No, I don't mean
I think
in a
that sentence was
negative
like,
way.
what, 4 or 5 words long, and you managed to kind of double slap me. That was impressive. You don't normally get away with that in so few words, but you succinctly got that down to a science.
I'm not sure what to say.
Yeah, the fact that it didn't resonate with you, I was surprised.
Yeah, I wanted to like it more than I do. I saw it once, maybe twice, and I was like, I'm good. I don't need to see it again. Finding Nemo, I could watch a million effing times, but for whatever reason, Finding Dory just... Because I think, once again, Matt, the father-son stuff appeals to me more because of Nemo, and I don't feel that necessarily as
With Dory?
powerfully. Yeah, with Dory, because it's friendship and all that kind of stuff.
I think, once again, how often is a sequel better than the first?
Of course,
So,
of course.
And years later, and deviating away from, what in essence is kind of a side character that becomes like, a co-main character that comes halfway through, giving them their own. I appreciated that choice as opposed to just going down these 2 characters and following them again. Like, It's an ocean. You have so many characters to choose from. Why not pick someone else and do something different and interesting? And it's just, a feeling. I can't imagine being lost in the ocean, like being separated.
Yeah.
As massive as the land is, the ocean is way bigger. Way bigger. We had that discussion a couple weeks ago on the Ocean Show.
Yeah.
If you want to hear us talk about the immensity and our inherent scared nature towards the ocean, go back and listen to that show.
Ding, 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 ding. Plug. Plug.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So just from that aspect, I like a movie set in the ocean, like we talked about before. I get drawn in. I think the addition of the octopus was a great character.
Yeah.
What is it? Ed O'Neill is voicing that one.
Yeah.
And that is awesome. I hope they keep that one if they do something else and maybe let all the others go. And there's new side characters and just keep trying.
And
if you
isn't
succeed, pick that one up and bring it with.
And isn't Gaffigan the what is the white whale with the big head? What is that called? What's that animal?
What, a beluga?
The beluga. Yeah, isn't that Gaffigan? I feel like that's Gaffigan.
That could be Gaffigan.
Because he keeps forgetting things or whatever, or where he's at. Not like Dory. It's something else.
No, I think isn't he a slower soul?
Yeah, he's slower. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look it up. I'm pretty sure it's Gaffigan.
I got it right here.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
That's a nice little dead air looking it up.
I know. Voice cast, Ed O'Neill, Caitlin Olsen, Ty Burrell, Diane Keaton, Eugene Levy, Idris Elba, Dominic West, Bob Peterson.
Wow.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver, Bill Hader, Kate McKinnon. Dude, across the board. Of course, John Ratzenberger.
Jeez. All those people are in this movie?
Yeah.
So I guess not. I guess the beluga is not Gaffigan.
No,
You didn't
I
say
do not
his
see
name.
Gaffigan's name.
Do you see a beluga?
Bob Peterson is Mr. Ray. Dominic Webb.
What? This is incredible.
I do not, sir.
Wow. Well, I take my hits. Caitlin Olsen. I have such a love for her as an actress, man. I really enjoy her.
Yeah, she's great. I mean, the Mick got canceled, unfortunately.
Yeah, because
But-
the first two. Well, maybe,
Philly's coming back. Hopefully they keep doing other things. Yeah, I don't see him.
maybe it was Ty Burrell then who was playing that character. I really thought it was.
Yeah, the beluga whale right there.
Oh yeah, is that what it is?
Yeah.
It's Ty Burrell.
Who temporarily lost echolocation due to a concussion.
Yeah, he has a concussion. That's
Yeah.
right. Which they made a joke about a concussion in this film. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, all right, fair.
When they got back, like I liked the fact that her dad, Eugene Levy,
Yes.
has, I think he's got a receding hairline in the movie.
Yeah.
But it's just the scales, like whatever the color of the scales, and that recedes back, I believe, later on, and he's,
great.
He's got the horseshoe baldness, which he didn't have when he was a little bit younger. You could see it creeping in, but it wasn't quite there.
It's a sweet movie, though.
It really is.
When she finds her family, it's like, oh, man.
You see all the shells.
Tears central when she finds
and it's going right back. Yeah, in the theater, and I was like, it was a great payoff.
Yeah.
It's not as good as the first, but I enjoyed that payoff.
Yeah.
And walking out, I understood people's criticism of it. But it's like, it didn't resonate with you, but it did with me. I understand your complaint.
Of course.
But you're also holding it up to the first one. And it needs to be its own thing. And it stole from the first one. Why not?
Yeah.
And certain aspects of longing and wanting to find family and et cetera. But I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So that's my 4. Yes, it was your 9, apparently.
All right. Well, now who's double slapping? All right. My number 4, which was your number 9, apparently, Monsters University. So.
Well, it was my number 8.
I'm so sorry.
My anthill is 1 grain higher.
That's right.
So suck it.
There it is. As eloquently put, suck it.
Yeah.
I really love this movie. I go back to it all the time, and people may hate me for saying this, especially you, but there are moments where I enjoy this more than the first.
Why would I hate you? It's on my list.
I don't know. I like it more than the first one. So there are moments where I like it more than the first one.
Yeah, see, that's where you're so wrong.
See, that's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Because,
the first one is great, and Boo is so sweet, and all those scenes are there, but I also think some of the comedy is a bit forced, like, hey, we're being this way. And I like that this Monster University is like the genesis of their relationship, how it has started, what happened. I know these stereotypes, and yet it still worked.
Yeah, no, it was a fresh new take on a bunch of college movies.
In essence, it's a prequel, even though it's a sequel.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just did a back-to-school, movie.
Right.
Kind of where we're going there, and here are the type of characters that you're going to intermingle with. And people that just love to party, and the people that love to study, and the jocks, and this and that, and you still have all these tropes that you can play with.
Yeah, and you have Helen Mirren as the principal, and
the really evil-looking kind of dragon, scorpion. It doesn't have the scorpion's tail, but it's not quite a dragon.
You're right.
I don't know. It's malevolent, that's for sure.
And it's a sweet film because you have Mike and Sully and what their issues were respectively in their cliques, right? What they wanted to fit into their cliques, but couldn't do what they needed to do to fit into their cliques because they didn't have that connection with someone who could help them. And you see that they begrudgingly develop a friendship that will help each other, and then eventually become actual friends. Mm-hmm. And then you see what happened, how the villain is created because they through the game situation, which I thought was brilliant. The games are great, and what a great way to develop a villain that way as well. All of that was so enjoyable for me, and you buy so that when you get to that bus stop moment, you're just like, oh man, this. I could totally put on the other one right now and thoroughly enjoy it because I've been set up by this one so well. So
okay,
that's the subjective thing.
I'm not discounting your argument. I still think the first one's better, but I like this one. Maybe as time progresses, I'll watch it more and more.
Yeah,
I think I've only seen it twice.
Okay.
But the college games, the fraternal games or whatever they are, those are a lot of fun.
Yeah,
they get more mileage out of that than I would have thought possible.
Yeah,
over and over and over, and how different characters need to fall before they can pick themselves back up.
Yeah,
and at different times, so you see the group coalesce into, they grow. You see growth.
Yeah, and essentially Revenge of the Nerds. It's essentially Revenge of the Nerds. Which I watched the last half hour of that again last night, flipping channels. That's what that is. That whole end sequence is Revenge of the Nerds. Them all coming together to believe in each other, trusting each other.
Group of dorks.
And group of dorks, exactly. And not cheat. And then when one person cheats, what happens from that point when they find out about it? So I enjoy that a lot about the movie. All right, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Kung Fu Panda 2.
Oh, which was my number 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
I dig this movie a lot.
This one's the best one of the series.
I think so.
Yep. The fight sequences are incredible.
Dude, the introduction of Oldman's character with the Japanese style of animation is such an awesome start to a movie. That's the first time I saw that, I was absolutely blown away.
Yeah.
Blown away. I already liked the series from the first one, but this second one just took it to a level where the motivations of everybody involved as they progress throughout just are undeniable to me.
Yeah.
Like, they really got everybody, and nobody feels like a caricature. Like, I understand Oldman as this scorned individual who thought that this was his birthright and it was taken away from him. And he comes back to basically, get back at everybody that he feels wronged him when they don't even know he exists.
Right.
But he's created this in his mind, and he's now accrued the power to actually do something,
Yeah.
The bullied kid got a big stick. Actually, but unfortunately, he was only bullied in his mind.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he was set up to be ruler, but he was also, he would have been a terrible ruler.
Right.
So we were the better for not knowing, who he was. And I also like the simplicity of needing Poe. Like, you need to look inward to gain true power.
Right.
Kind of thing with like the water droplet, and there's firing the cannonball, and he's catching it and throwing it back. I think that's that one, isn't it? Because the first one is just that fight mano a mano style.
Yeah.
And this one, he's firing the cannonballs when they're coming out on those huge ships that have destroyed and gone through, and he's just kind of, and it looks real.
Yeah.
When he's throwing them back, I'm like, I'm buying this, and that's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. Some of the sequences look like they're shot in 3D. They're so incredible in the way the depth and dimension of what's happening on screen. And I also like that this one gives the team more to do.
Yeah.
Whereas the first one was really focused on Poe, this one is more about the team, right? Because if you're going to make him fit into this team still has to be a pretty great team working together. And they gave him a lot more time, which I enjoyed, because you have more time with Lucy Liu and Angelina Jolie and Jackie Chan. So that's fun to have them all.
David Cross?
Oh yeah, and David Cross. Yeah. So it's just fun to have them all work together and do the things that they're doing. And I think Hoffman isn't Hoffman still back as the
he's back. He's got the
Vision or whatever.
A small part in it.
Yeah. So all of that through the whole season. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this one as well. It's only 6 because it's I don't know, for I don't watch it as much as the other ones that I have above it, but
give it a whirl again, because
yeah.
The art direction alone from that opening sequence, I just appreciate and know. It reminds me of what I love about a lot of times in stop motion animation.
Right.
You can see the amount of care that went into the world, and the idea looks so fully formed from the opening that I appreciate the story that much more thereafter. They just opened, once they pulled the curtain, the stage was fully set.
Yeah.
And I was already on board, from moment one. So I like that about it. Like, it had such a sense of itself and purpose. And I know I can rewatch that over and over again.
Yeah. All right, is it my number?
Yeah, you're number 3?
Toy Story 2. That's my number 3.
Okay. Wow, what do you have? Do we have a punt from earlier?
What number is yours? What number is Toy Story 2?
That's my number 2.
All right, so it's your number 2.
Yeah, it was easy peasy. It was like bing bang. I was done.
Bing bang a ding.
Yeah, once we did this, and a lot of times I'm like, I got to separate the certain things.
Yeah.
Hence the implication. But Toy Story 2, they took what was already a great movie and managed to build upon that and help create a legacy that's still going. Mm-hmm. That bled over nicely into 3. I mean, 3's a different animal.
Yeah.
But 2, I like the question of what kind of fate and do you want for yourself? What kind of life do you want for yourself?
Yeah.
What kind of legacy do you want to leave on this world? Like, Kelsey Grammer?
Yeah.
From his perspective, I want to be loved and adored, and I never want to die, and I want to, even if I've got to live behind this stupid packaging, like, that's all I want. I want to be, that's my single, and that's my motivation in life. And wow, most people can't figure out what they want. At least this guy has. I don't agree with it. It seems ridiculous, but at least he made a choice.
Right. Yeah. And this one has some very powerfully emotional moments with Jessie's character. I mean, fuck, man. Mm-hmm. Honestly, that when she's singing about her owner leaving her in the box, Jesus Christ, Matt, I don't think there's a moment in any of the Toy Story movies, maybe when they're all holding each other in the fire before they might get burned up. That's right. But
that's the top of the mountain.
This is still the second, to me, the second most moving moment in the whole series is this song that she sings and her journey of how she ended up. Because then you understand why she's so desperate to be part of a family, so desperate to have this work, so that she does these things that she wouldn't normally do if her life was level.
Yeah.
She wouldn't normally do these things to trick Woody to try to be part of this set, so that they could all be together, right? And so you feel sympathy for her. You understand the vulnerability. And that's incredible for an animated film to show that kind of complexity in a character. And so you enjoy all of that. And then Woody himself, because he feels like, oh, well, Andy's going to leave me eventually. Like that whole fear of someone leaving you, what does that do to you and make you act like and make you look for and kind of maybe talk yourself into this level of comfort, but at what price? You know, and so all of that gets explored. These films are strangely are what's the word I want to look for? They're subtly darker than people think. All three of these films are subtly darker than people think in terms of what they confront and the issues they open up emotionally and the real human things that happen to these characters that people can relate to in their own lives.
Well, I mean, that's just the beauty of Pixar.
Yeah.
They know how to get you at almost every level.
Yeah.
Even something that's usually like frivolous, like action. Look at The Incredibles. They pack so much dynamism and whatnot into scenes that it's something you've seen before, but looks completely fresh and original.
Yeah.
Pixar just has this ability to tell a story that's unlike any other, overall studio. I mean, they haven't done the wide scope of. They kind of stick to certain type of, family and loss and stuff like that. They're recurrent themes, but those are some of the most difficult to deliver on. How do you get us to care over and over about characters when we know that's what you're going to give us?
And animated characters at that.
Yeah, no less.
That's how incredible that is. Yeah, because that scene in Incredibles when he, like in a moment of frustration with Mrs. Incredible near the end, before they're about to make the big fight, he's like, "No, you can't come with me." And she's like, "What do you think I can't? Because I'm a woman, I can't." And he goes, "No, I can't lose you again." Ah, dude, every time. That's devastating.
Because you forget that they're people.
Yes.
In the context of the world that they've created, you hear that and you're like, holy shit, the sobering thought of, if that was my wife, those are my kids.
Yeah.
I realize we have incredible powers, but Jesus, am I an idiot for allowing this to happen?
Right.
But at the same time, my son is faster than a bullet. How do you not use that?
Exactly.
My daughter can project force fields.
Right.
Command energy. I don't even understand how that's possible. At least the super speed I can see.
Right.
The other thing doesn't even make sense. The Jack.
Jack's nuts.
I love that Jack is still the same age because we only got to see flashes of that in the original and then see it in the trailer. I'm like, all good. That's still comedy.
Right.
I bet you Jack ends up saving at some point something like his first. He makes a choice. Jack is going to be this now.
We had the voice of Jack and the. What's the daughter's name?
Fiona? No, that's from Shrek.
Is it Violet?
Violet.
Yeah. So we had Violet and the voice of Violet and Jack, the kid Flash. We had them here in the studio. Perry interviewed them.
And his name Jack? Because I want to say I can feel.
Is it Jack? Oh, it's Jack.
Craig T. Nelson saying Jack.
Yeah. So it's probably Jack.
There's a lot of show to look up. I'm tired too. I've been trying to. But you've asked me like point blank once. How does that end? My mind was just like,
Anyway, so we're on Toy Story 2. That's what.
Yeah.
So anyway, all of that happens, and you have the stuff with Wayne Knight and the toy barn, all of that going through, and that moment with Woody and Buzz when Buzz tells him like, "Come on, let's go." They're coming to save him, and he's like, "No, I'm staying here. This is my family. This is where I belong. This is my new family. I'm going to be in this set." Blah blah blah. And then he sees the evil that Kelsey is doing, and he understands, that
Dash.
That's it. Dash. Right.
Not even close.
Sorry, y'all.
Swimmy,
close to Flash. It was close to Flash. But he sees the evil that Kelsey's doing, or that Kelsey's character is doing, and then fights back against it. But even Kelsey's character, to a degree, is sympathetic because this is an old, sad old man trying to hold on to something.
Yeah, that's why you understand.
It's heartbreaking almost.
You see the gravity that he draws and why it could pull in someone like Woody.
Yeah. Plus, Kelsey's a great voice actor, man. Jesus Christ. Even in Anastasia, he's incredible in Anastasia. So, not that well, all right, let's move on.
I don't know if I've seen that.
You ever seen Anastasia?
Don't think so.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to react so powerfully.
Don't think so.
I've never seen Rescuers.
Is Rasputin in that?
Rasputin is in that, yeah.
I think I've only seen like a clip of his.
Meg Ryan is the voice of Anastasia, and John Cusack is the voice of the guy trying to convince her that she is the niece of the Grand Tsar and therefore should be the heir. And I forget who's the voice of Rasputin. And then Kelsey's this larger Russian guy who's trying to teach her as well.
If you're going to do an animation, why do you choose Meg Ryan and Cusack?
I don't know. It works.
You know what I mean?
It works.
Yeah, but their voices aren't so distinctive that they could bring a character to life. I'm not really slandering them. I'm saying they're selling me more on personality and who they are and how they capture my eye in a frame.
Yeah, okay. Fair.
Some people, it's like that plus the voice, and others, it's just like the voice commands respect before anything else.
Right. I think with Meg, you have that kind of. Yeah, she has a distinct voice. Cusack, I can see the argument. But Meg has kind of a distinct voice.
It's nothing against him. I like both actors. I'm not disparaging them. I haven't seen the movie. I'm sure it's good.
It's a little disparaging. That's all right. We'll move on.
To you. They never did any other voiceover work, did they not? I can't think of anything else. Maybe Meg Ryan. I can't think of anything else Cusack was ever in.
Yeah, no, I don't recall anything Cusack.
Exactly, because this also seems like, why did I take my time? I bet you he feels he's above doing this type of work. Or at that point in his career or something. I don't know.
Seeing what he's released lately, he better not feel above doing animated voice. I'll tell you that right now.
He still pumps out a good one every once again.
Every 6 years. All right, so my number 2, which maybe is a surprise to you, which is probably a surprise to you, but it's my number 2. It's a film that I go back to all the time. It's a anime. It's a Japanese anime film called Ghost in the Shell 2: Innocence.
Okay.
And it is
I think I've seen the first one.
It's a noir. And the assistant in the first film, the other cop, Batu, he is the focus of this film. And because the major has died in the first one or has found where she belongs or existence. And so he's exploring, or he's following this case, and it's shot like an anime noir. It's incredible. The visuals are phenomenal. The songs that they bring in, the dramatic songs that are in the Japanese songs are incredible. So all of it combined is a film I come back to all the time, and I love the noir aspect of it and what he explores, because there's a sex robot that lost her mind and like bludgeoned her owner, like cut him up into pieces. And so they want to figure out why that is. And so Batu goes on his own journey to figure out what it is about him, and he finds all this stuff about himself and what he's doing and how he was programmed and what his part to play in all this is. And it's very complex. It's a deep, complex like story within this whole anime. That's why I love it, because it's as close to an actual live action noir as you can get in an animation. Okay. And it's a phenomenal story, very well acted. And I watched the Japanese version with the subtitles, but it is a film I have seen maybe 100 times. Like, it's just a film that I love to go back to and watch all the time ever since it came out in 2004. I have had it on VHS. I've had it on well, not a pirated, but like an all-region DVD that I got from overseas, and then finally the Blu-ray came out. So I've owned every version of this, and I see to increase the level of high definition on it, to appreciate every time I watch it. And it never gets old to me. Never gets old to me. So
you've seen it 100 times. I can't imagine how it would.
Yeah.
At this point, it's beyond that.
Just the noir aspect of it. I even changed for a year I had that as my license plate on my car. Was his name, Batu. And I tried to see if anybody would get the reference. So for a year, I had Batu on the back of my car as the driver's license or as the license plate.
What did you want people to do? Honk, wave? Is there something?
Dude, I get the reference.
Oh, to stop you on the street?
Yeah.
So you want to talk to people? Yeah. Do you really?
I wanted to find my
You just want people to tell you you're awesome.
Yeah.
And you're like, thank you, I already realized that.
It's my hipster year.
Sure, to reference a sequel anime I bet you there's a few thousand people in this town that would get that reference.
Sure, Emma 5 probably being one of the main one.
Probably more than that. I mean, a town this large, but this heavy, and people that love movies. Yeah. And now you go into the subgenre of anime.
Yeah,
I bet you there's even more than that, actually.
Yeah, but I had it for a year. I never got stopped once. Nobody ever came up to me and was like, "Oh, dude, I know the reference." Blah blah blah. So, but anyway, if you haven't seen this film and you're a fan of Japanese anime, I would say watch. You don't even have to have seen the first one, to be honest with you. It's a standalone.
I had my only personalized license plate ever was a reference to a Fish song called YEM, and I had YEM on my license plate. Okay. And only one person ever asked me about it. And I had it for like 3 years, and during that 3 years, I followed Fish around during the summer where you're around camping tons of people.
And still.
No one ever asked because no one, I mean, you said hi to people and whatnot, but nobody was striking up conversations about, my car.
Dude.
But we are standing around for hours sometimes.
Exactly.
How does it not come up? Only one person ever. So people are oblivious more often than not.
Yeah, I had Reservoir Dog as a license plate for a year as well on the car. In my 2002 or 3.
Anybody?
No. Some people would see it. Like my friends would see it and be like, "Oh, I get it," blah blah blah. But no one ever came up to me like strangers were like, "Oh, dude, cool," something like that. So
yeah, you're asking a lot of the general populace.
Yeah, you're right. I am. All right, so I imagine our number one is the same.
Is Toy Story 3.
Tolkien's Lord of the... Oh, yeah. Toy Story 3.
I haven't seen that in so long that I don't remember liking it. and I don't think I liked it.
Where there's a whip, whoosh, there's a way. Anyway, yeah, so Toy Story 3. I mean, what are we going to say?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've extolled the virtues of Pixar. So Pixar, for once, I think for the first time ever, made a conscious choice to make a movie for adults. I think this is a movie for adults. There's kid stuff in it, but it's asking a lot of a 6-year-old. Even just from a visual images when they descend into a cauldron of hell.
Yeah.
And a child has to see that, and they think that all their favorite characters are going to get extinguished in molten, lava in essence, but it's molten steel.
Yeah.
Or metal. Fucking, I mean, that's almost a bridge too far. If anybody else does that, I think parents are decrying. But the fact that they managed to wrap it around a story where, once again, even the villains, Lotso, you understand his motivation. He's still a shitheel.
He's a shitheel, dude.
But you still understand why he's being a shitheel.
Right.
He only sees the downside of eventually we wear out, we get replaced, we get left behind. So if you're not out for yourself, you're going to die in this world, kid. Yeah. And some of us are going to make it and some of us aren't. And I have a position of power here and I get to decide those things.
Yeah.
Until I get usurped. And guess what? I get dethroned at some point in this movie. But I even like in the midst of all that, they still had fun with, instead of being a potato this time, Mr. Potato Head is a tortilla.
Yeah.
And he's like, go under ninja style, under certain barriers and whatnot. And he's flopping around.
Yeah.
They still managed to get a lot of good comedy.
They did.
Amidst all this really super serious stuff.
And they even threw in a little bit of a message with the Ken and Barbie thing.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal.
Dude, I love
Very
Ken,
subtle.
How excited Ken was to try on things and to have an audience that enjoyed watching him do it. It was the first time in his life. And he's like, oh my God, I have so many outfits. And you believed it because for Ken, that is what he loves.
Yeah.
So if somebody else out there is as excited, and that means then he would be excited to watch her do fashion show too.
Right. And then like what that means when Lots tries to trick him into convincing them to betray them in essence, you know, and what that does to him and what that means. So even Michael Keaton is going on a mini journey as the voice of Ken with this whole situation with Barbie. It's really full of so many rich storylines, this film, and it's incredible as a third film in the series that it still has this much emotional territory to mine. And still there is the tests of friendship. There are tests on their friendships because of these things these adventures that they go on.
Yeah.
And they have to find a way to work together. And they keep accruing people like from the second film, what those things are, the Martians that get picked out of the thing.
The claw, whatever.
They all come with them now, so they're part of this whole thing. So like everybody, they've been accruing things over two movies, and they all show up in the film to do what they do, and so much so that they end up in that situation trying to break out, and lots is really tough to fight, and they end up in that dump, and they end up in that about to almost be killed. And like we were saying earlier, that's the moment of the trilogy. That's absolutely the moment of the trilogy.
I just don't know where you go from here. Like I'm more than willing
worried
to take,
about the fourth. Worried about the fourth.
Well, I don't know where you raise the stakes to because you just almost killed all the characters.
Yeah.
So I hope they don't go the cartoonish of like this time we really almost killed the characters where it's just instead of a pit of hell, now it's gunfire or something where they have to feel they need to up the stakes to get the same emotional response.
Yeah.
I hope it's not that. I don't know why they would.
They're going to space. That's what they're doing. They're going to space.
It's already hit Jason X level.
That's right.
We've run out of ideas, guys.
I don't know what we're going to do.
What do you got? I don't know. Teenage kids are stupid. Just put some boobs in here and put it out. Get it ready for the summer.
Well, I mean, because like at the end of the movie, Andy hands the toys over to the little girl.
Next generation,
right? Who lost what? She lost her dad or something like that, and it's helping like something.
Oh, that's a great question.
I forget. It's something that she's been through some tragedy, and
he understands her pain.
Right, he understands her pain, and so he gives her the dolls, or the toys rather, to help her deal with that. So, is she going to be the main character now, or are we going back to Andy? Like, what's the fourth one going to be?
Andy was a peripheral character at best.
Right. But
he can be easily replaced by the next family because we only care about the actual other characters within the context of the group of the band of brothers.
Well, and I don't mean to bring up anything uncomfortable, but like when the initial script fell apart, there was more going on between Bo Peep and Tom Hanks. So Annie Potts and Tom Hanks had more stuff going on, and then Rashida Jones, and I forget the other guy's name. Like they pulled out because of the situation with Lasseter, and they didn't want to work there anymore, and all this kind of stuff. So I don't know how that's going to affect the script when they put it back together, like what the script's going to be like. But I have nothing but worry about. I am not looking forward in terms of like I'm excited for a Toy Story 4 movie. I'm more trepidatious than anything else because I'm worried it's not going to be good and ruin the first 3 movies.
It can't ruin the first 3 movies.
Yeah, but it put a little bit of
it really can't.
like Rocky 5 ruins Rocky a little bit.
But I still saw the other Rockies that followed and the Rocky reboot.
Yeah.
And
I can't say I'm not saying you can't do a Toy Story 5 that saves it, but I just don't want anything to I don't want a Crystal Skull situation is what I'm saying.
Now, I understand that entirely. It's like why I haven't seen Death Proof. I don't. Right now, Tarantino is still kind of bulletproof for me.
Death Proof is good.
You're like a lone voice.
What? The Kurt Russell one?
I know so many people that like that is their favorite of the 2.
Oh yeah, between Planet Terror, yeah, and Death Proof, yeah.
But Death Proof just isn't. It's not up to his normal level, and it's like it wasn't made to be. It was made to be an homage to these grindhouse type films, so it's something utterly different.
Yeah.
And I, even if I don't hold certain Tarantinos up like other people do, there are others that I do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like Kill Bill, you're a bigger fan of than I am.
I love that the both of them.
Yeah, that's where I think he just fell into his eccentricities.
Huh.
A couple times too many for me.
Wow. Okay.
Well, it's all the names for the characters killed me every time.
Orenishi is a bad name?
No, but it was like fucking Pocket Rattlesnake, Johnson. And you're like, what? They all have to have snake names? And it's like, I don't understand.
If I ever do a parody movie, I officially want you to name every character in that parody movie. Pocket Rattlesnake Johnson.
But they were always like, oh,
yeah, because there was Mamba, Black Mamba. There was
It was Pit Viper or something. There was a viper in there somewhere.
Viper, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they were called the Viper
Cobra,
Squad.
potentially a python, like this, but they all had the Black Mamba, and you're setting it up. It's like, I already know what this character is before you see it, and you see it, and you're like, I don't. Everybody. Yeah. It took me out of the introduction of every one of these people every time, so I never got the full connection to it.
Understood.
Whereas with Toy Story 3, so like I said before, certain franchises suffer from bringing in tons of characters and making us care about it.
Yeah.
And it succeeded with Shrek because you already knew the backstories, whereas Toy Story, you don't know as well. You understand that they're this 2D character in essence, something that doesn't really have much life, and they give it a backstory, but they do it with such heart that they keep adding to this huge troop over and over and over as they come into contact with more and more toys. So, excellent movie. There it is.
There it is. There's our top 10 animated sequels on their own. Now we put this list together. Should I go get the bongos?
Yeah, go grab bongos.
Okay, while you're doing it?
It's your turn on bongos.
Yeah, because you're writing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will start with this. So
Hopefully.
Toy Story 3 is number 1.
Certainly number 1. I imagine Toy Story 2 is number 2.
That would make the most sense. All right. After that, I got to vamp for a couple seconds. Guys, what are we going to do here? That's a real thing. I wish you guys could chime in. Somehow we do this live and just let me know who would be your choice. Who would you want at number 3? Right now we have Toy Story 3 at number 1, Toy Story 2 at number 2. And of our list, next I have Kung Fu Panda at number 3, but then he's got Ghost in the Shell 2 at his number 2.
That's right.
I don't know. We both have Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, I mean, I was prepared that Ghost in the Shell would drop, but I just wanted the fans to know that's my number 2. So I don't mind it dropping a little bit. But
I mean, this is an extension of John's movie corner. Now it's just John's anime corner.
Let me tell you about the classic Ghost
exactly.
in the Shell.
Have you seen the anime section over in the corner?
In the corner. That's
exactly.
a countdown. All right. So what do we want to do? Toy Story 1, Toy Story 3,
3, 2.
1. Okay, and then what? Monsters University was my next one besides Ghost in the Shell.
At
2.
what number? 3?
4.
4. Okay, I got Kung Fu Panda at 3. You had that where?
6. So that should go next.
Yeah.
Can I put Ghost in the Shell 2 now or no?
Come
on, man.
Sure.
Top 5?
Sure.
Okay.
You can have it at 4.
Thank you.
That's a big score. And you enjoy that?
I appreciate that.
I hope it tastes as good. Hopefully that's a sesame. You know what I mean?
This is Sesame Day already.
Is it?
Yeah. Now that you've done that, now I will have Sesame tomorrow.
Also,
morning.
the Sesame effect can have, you know what, that carries you in through tomorrow, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I would go ahead now and get the Sesame tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to be a good
Order
day.
it.
Tomorrow's going to be a good day. I got, hold on, you have what next again? I'm sorry?
After
Monsters U?
Monsters University, number 4.
Okay, I got that at 8. Where do you have Finding Dory?
Finding Dory is my number 9.
All right, so Monsters U would go next.
Okay. Did we put Kung Fu Panda up?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, I got Finding Dory then at 4. You had it at 9.
Yeah.
That's higher. Where do you have How to Train Your Dragon?
That's my number 7.
That's my 5.
Okay. That's fine. I can go there. But then I have Madagascar 2, Escape to Africa. And you have that. You have the third one.
I have the third one at 9. You have it where? It's 6?
Mine is number 5.
5?
Yeah.
Do we have any other commonality? What, Shrek 2?
Shrek 2, Puss in Boots, we can put that up there.
Okay, let's put that at 8.
Okay. And what do you have next on your list?
On mine at 6, I got Rescuers Down Under.
Ooh, I feel like that should go on I'm fine with that going 9.
What do you want them last? Madagascar 2?
Where did you have yours? Your Madagascar?
At number 9.
Yeah. So I feel okay with Madagascar 2.
So you prefer that one over the third by how much? As somebody that's seen the second, I don't know that I don't believe I have.
Okay.
No, I'm giving it to you. You have it placed higher on your list?
I do.
I've only seen Madagascar 3 once.
Oh, okay.
But I still remember certain scenes from it. I was like, dude,
Right.
that part was funny. You got great heart here. I was blown away by it.
I've seen Escape to Africa many, many times.
Okay, that's fine. No, I'm just asking. Like,
Fantasia Table. Oh, by how much? Oh,
Yeah.
I don't know.
10%?
Yeah, maybe
20%?
10.
Okay.
It's not a huge number, that's for sure. I like them both better than the first one, and the first one's good, but I like them both better than the first one, 2 and 3. So, all right, here we go. Are we ready?
Yep. Give it to me.
Let me get a little bit out of the mic out of the way here. The top 10 animated movies. Fucking shit. All right. The top 10 animated movie sequels. Yeah. At number 10.
Madagascar 2, Escape from Africa.
You're so much better at this than I am. At number 9.
Come on. Tap into that Latino blood, that Latin blood. At number 9 is The Rescuers Down Under.
At number 8.
Oh, my God. That was
I'm trying my best, man.
that was like listening to somebody trying to get in first gear that's not used to driving a stick. Oh, he's revving a little too much.
That's me in the morning.
Shrek 2.
What's the Shrek? Does it have a thing? It's just Shrek 2, right?
Yeah, I think it's just Shrek 2.
Okay. At number 7.
How to Train Your Dragon 2.
At number 6.
Finding Dory.
At number 5.
Monsters University.
At number 4.
Ghost in the Shell. You had it and you lost it for a beat and then grabbed it right back.
Ghost in the Shell 2, Innocence.
Innocence, okay.
Innocence. At number 3.
Kung Fu Panda 2.
Is that right? No, is that number 4?
That's number 3.
Oh, sorry. Okay. At number Dose.
Toy Story 2.
And our number 1 animated movie sequel is
Toy Story 3.
Hey-oh. That's a good list of a lot of good movies. I say that every time, but it's true.
Well, it wouldn't make the list otherwise.
Yeah, right. And if you haven't seen these movies, I would recommend seeing these movies. And
Did you
Rescuers
have
Down Under
any on a side list?
I did have the Tokens Lord of the Rings on the side.
Yeah, that was never in contention.
Because I love those Bakshi. I think it's Bakshi who does those versions.
Ralph Bakshi?
Yes,
Is that right?
I think that's what it is. Ralph Biscuits. Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, I had Five Goes West. American Tail 2.
Yeah, I've never seen those two, so I wouldn't have put it on my list.
First one came out when I was there. I was the target age,
Right.
And it worked. It was 100% effective. I loved it. I had a little Fievel doll, and that scene where he's singing up to the star. It just God, it got me every time. Pulled me in. So I was already suckered in for the second one, but it just I haven't seen it in so long.
What about Rio 2? Have you ever seen any of the Rio films?
I don't think I've seen it.
You've never seen any of the Rio films?
The first one. A buddy of mine's a voice in it.
Oh, wow. That's great. Here's some, see, Ghost in the Shell 2, number 4 here on IMDb. Let me tell you
Oh,
something.
it's some arbitrary list on IMDb. Congratulations.
Arbitrary. What's wrong with you? Ice Age. Oh, I didn't put any of the Ice Age movies.
I'm not a fan.
Yeah, they're okay.
Yeah.
They don't have any magic for me, to be honest with you.
I don't care about the characters.
Hey, how long can you chase that nut? Literally and figuratively.
Sometimes he's the best part.
That's not saying much.
I know. He comes in and out and it's just like, I realize I understand why we can't stay with him because that story is just, it's got no calories.
Yeah.
You know? It's just empty.
Any of the Hotel Transylvania ones?
No.
Yeah. They're fun, but they don't, yeah.
I fell asleep in the first one.
Yeah.
It was on that same trip to Universal.
Ooh.
I think that was on the first one. It was either the first or the second one, but I think it was the first one came out. And I fell asleep. It's one of the few times. Taking my nephew to movies, I've fallen asleep twice. That and Hitman. I fell asleep in that.
Oh, Jesus. Hitman was a piece of crap.
I was hungover that day.
I can't even with Hitman. What's the other one that do you have any of the, there's Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. Have you ever seen any of those?
I like the first one. I don't think I've seen the second one.
The second one's not, it's okay. It's not great. All right. Well, anyway, that's our list for this week. Thanks, everyone, for listening. We really appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for the incredible comments that you've been leaving on our shows recently. I feel like the love has increased in some of these comments as we're doing more for the fans, and people are sending us stuff. Did we get anything this week? Did we get any new gifts this week?
I would have brought it had we, but
Son of a gun.
You never know.
Fans, get on it. We love the gifts, so please send us some stuff.
No, we're just... How long until we're televangelists?
You know, the Lord is calling me to heaven if I don't get a gift from you.
We need a $65 million jet. Guys, we got to spread the top 10 all around the world.
All around the world. Ghana's not enough, guys. Ghana is not enough. We need to have more countries.
We got everywhere, but we just need to get to everywhere. That's the thing. $65 million, guys.
Anything you want to say to wrap things up?
No, you can go to our Patreon, patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. Or facebook.com/groups/the top 10 show with the number 10.
Yeah.
Or me on Twitter at Matt Knost, MATTKNOST.
Yeah, you guys can follow me at The Rocha Says. Or, geez, I totally forgot how old I am. The Rocha Says on Twitter and on Instagram. See all the stuff we're doing there. And what did we want to talk? There's nothing else to cover. We're good to go, right? I think we're good to go.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. We got the T-shirts thing. That's all in motion now. That should be.
Yeah, it is. And you talked about something off air too.
Yeah. So that's all in motion. Things are going to happen.
Yeah, and technically reached out to one guy already.
Oh, nice.
It's someone you know and we've discussed.
Okay, perfect. I love it.
Yeah, I haven't said anything, but I was just like, hey, what would you cost?
Right.
What can you do? And it was very reasonable. And they're like, okay,
great.
All right, well, you'll probably be hearing from us.
What merch do you want to see from us? Those of you who are listening, give us some suggestions.
Personally, I'd like to eventually get to Kiss coffin level, and we have coffins. You know, it's top 10 star mugs on top. I want to get to that. We've gone through like the Hot Wheels cars.
Yeah, sure.
Makeup kits.
Yep, makeup kits.
We
top
do
10 makeup kits.
Look, kids, Halloween's right around the corner. If you want to go as brown face outlaw.
Yeah. I don't know what that means. Brown face outlaw.
What I'm saying, you want to take it back and really get inappropriate with this costume. Put on a little, and then you can put on some pale for me.
There you go.
Side by side.
That's right.
Although I got a gorgeous tan. That's
you do.
That 1/8 Cherokee me. I tan well.
I know you do. You bronze well. You bronze well.
I have a distinct tan line. If you've ever seen it.
Oh, also, if you want to, and I think by now. Buy any of the new Horseman T-shirts. They're over there at the Schmodown shop. So we get a little bit of that. So go and buy those shirts and represent the Horsemen because we are back, baby. We're back in the Schmodown, and there's going to be more to come from all 5 of us. So just keep watching the Schmodown and pay attention because we're going to rule this roost once and for all. So there you go. All right, that's it. We're done.
Sign off. Give me a wheel spinning, question stealing. High flying,
belt winning,
son of a gun. Woo! We'll see you next time on the Top 10 Show.